I know there was no sound in the beginning. I was rocking out to Manchester Orchestra in the middle of a song and I just could not stop. My deepest apologies for being muted and not sharing my song with you. So if you want to listen to it, the song I was listening to is Manchester Orchestra, In My Teeth. It's the official video, In My Teeth. It's got some serious. How's everybody doing tonight? Happy? Okay. Um, bring you up to date. I was a radio guy. I'm not a radio guy. I'm here now. There you go. You're caught up. Woo! That took 172 episodes to get to that moment right there. All right. Um, so let's see. What did today? And today entailed a lot of stuff. I had a very full day, and it was a very good slash full day. I did get a haircut. Look, see the hair cut, no longer completely scruffy. See, look at this. See, it's now got some coif to it. So length is better. It's still long, but I don't have the whole you know, those are the clown hair on the sides, which I'm very happy about. So that's good. So I did get my hair cut. What's happening here? You must, what? That's not, what, your encoder is sending data faster than real time. I don't know what's happening here, why it's doing this. Open widget. It's telling me that there's an error here. Poor quality, something's happening. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Why is it doing this? All right, hopefully it gets caught up and we're better than a second. I'm not sure what's happening. It says my stream health is poor. Hopefully it's still working. If it's not, just tell me in my comments. Say, you suck, something's wrong. Like me, don't like me. I don't know. I can't tell. It's giving me some grief here. I had some issues earlier where it went live at 8 o'clock this evening with episode 8, which didn't exist. So I'm not sure what's happening. I'm here though, and I'm making it happen. So like I said, got my hair cut today, and that was really a good thing. I needed some haircut. Then I've been waiting for weeks for this now. I had my hearing on my parking ticket. Now, if you don't remember the saga and the drama of the parking ticket is, I parked and got a ticket. The app, we have to use an app to park everywhere now. The last two numbers were transposed. Instead of 98, it was 89. So I got a ticket, even though I paid for it. And I was like, this isn't right. I should not have this. I paid for parking. I have the receipt. It's the description of the car. It's the location. You took a picture. Great. That's all that stuff. But it's just the two numbers are transposed. Denied. I'm like, what do you mean denied? How do you just flat out deny it? So I, sent in and, okay, well, I want a request. I want a review of this. Sent it in, review, denied. We're still upholding. I'm like, how? I was like, this is ridiculous. It's $30. I'm not paying $30. It's on principle. So I held out and I went for the final solution. I want a human. I don't want to just send it an email or a text. I want a freaking human being. I will go down there if I have to waste time, or I can do it virtually. I'm like, great, I'll do it virtually. So I went ahead and today was a day, 1:45. Now, I will admit that I did go on yesterday and I did wait for like 3 hours. Walking around with my phone like a crazy person, just waiting to get onto this thing, which never did because it wasn't the correct day. I did call at 4:45 and be like, hey, you guys never got on. Like, well, that's tomorrow. I'm like, what? It said tomorrow, Monday, meaning Tuesday, but I didn't check the date, was the 19th, not the 18th. Anyway, so I got on at 1:40 because it says you can get on 5 minutes before. 1:45 comes and goes. Like 1:49, boop, here comes this woman. I'm like, oh, hi. She's okay. Can you please just state your name and your address, please? I'm like, yes, blah, 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 blah. She's like, okay, yes. So you're, let's see, we're contesting a parking ticket, blah, blah, blah. I said, yes. I said, basically, I submitted it, but I just wanted to talk to a real human because the numbers, if you look, are transposed on the parking ticket from 9.8 to 8.9. I said, just on the app, I said, so either I never got scanned before or they just avoided it and never bothered to write it up because they just realized it. She goes, yeah, it's not a big deal. It happens all the time. Blah, 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 blah. There you go. Refund your money, blah, blah. I'm like, bingo. I'm like, people. No, I did not talk to a robot. So humans 1, robots 0. That's all it required, right? Just human interaction, and I worked it out, and I saved my $30. So I'm happy. I saved my $30. All right. So there you go. Parking ticket avoided. Haircut done. Now I did go down to the station today. I went down to the building because I had to go check on it because I wasn't there for a couple of days, and I got there. And I said, all right, I'm going to sort for a couple hours. I'm just going to go through and I'm going to sort crap. And I'm going to make 3 bins. I'm going to keep it bin, which I will sort again. I will sell it. Someone will want it because it's got logos on it from CD 101, CD 1025 from forever ago. And I'm just throwing it in the garbage because it's crap. And no one's going to want this, and I'm not going to bother with it. So I did that, and I filled like a 33-gallon garbage can with just stuff out of my office out of the back, and I got a lot of stuff, and I was digging through stuff, and I was like, wait a second. I did find a stack of tickets. I'm not kidding you, about this big, old concert tickets. I found all my lanyards. I mean, hundreds of them. I brought them all home. They're all here. And they are in a giant, like 33-quart, 64-gallon bin filled with stuff. I'm like, okay, I have 3 of them. Anyway, what I found was a couple of things today. One, look at this one. I found this when I was completely not aware that I had it. Look at that. Autographed Blink 182. How's that for you? It's, I knew I had it, but I didn't know where it was. So there you go, Blink 182 autograph. Then, because today is what day? Today's the 19th. On the 17th in 2013, look what I found. I found a ticket for Manchester Orchestra. So I was at that show. I even have the set list from that show. Newport Music Hall 2013. They played Shake It Out. That's how they opened it, with Shake It Out. Pensacola, Pale Black. Pale Black Eye. I Can Barely Breathe, Pride, The Ocean, $100. I've Got Friends, great song. Virgin, also really good song. Pride, The Ocean, $100. I've Got Friends, Virgin, Kali, Stress, Cope, The River. That was 14. Then they did an encore with Simple Math, Where Have You Been? And I Can Feel Hot One. So, I mean, great show. Stupendous show. But then I was like, wait a second, because I was digging more crap. And I was like, oh, wait, check this one. Whoops, sorry, dropping it. This was one of those one-off shows. We found that this band, Young the Giant, this is the concert poster from that show. We did a thing at Brothers Drake Meadery, which is this tiny little venue that was, it's no longer around, but they did mead, which is like, a microbrewery, but it was mead, which is like, Viking stuff. You use like clovers and crap and it makes like sweet, boozy stuff. But yes, Young the Giant played at this tiny, tiny little place. And this is the invitation for it. It was a like private, almost little thing. And then I've got the meet and greet after show with the band as well. I don't know, the focus is not so great on that. I tried it up here, but the light was shitty. It got really washed out. I'm not sure why, because it's just reflecting. There it is. So yeah, the meet and greet for Young the Giant. So yeah, that happened the day before. So this was a double day. It was on 2013. So that was one of those multi-day music like pandemoniums. Because I remember setting up. It was a tiny, tiny little stage. It was only like 18 inches off the ground. I remember we had to bring in all the back line, and it was a one-off. So, and it's a tiny space. I mean, only a few hundred people. So that was definitely fun. So I'm going to dig and find all these concert tickets. I'm going to see if I can get them in order and then start sharing some of these shows that I've been to, hundreds, if not literally thousands. I figured that if I've been to concerts for 40 years and I average 100 a year, that's about 4,000 shows. And I did average at least 100 a year, if not more, honestly. I went to a lot of freaking concerts. That's why I'm deaf. That's why I scream all the time, because I am absolutely deaf. So I then went to the station when I was digging around. I did, in fact, bust out the spray paint, and you saw the header today. That was me, the king of anarchy, as well as Randsanity, as I spray painted my office wall with a giant A for anarchy. And then I broke shit. I decided to smash things because I found glass stuff, and I just was like, you know what? I'm just mad. The reason I'm mad is because while moving stuff around, I knocked my cell phone off the table. No big deal. Cell phone's fine. Wobble, wobble. My coffee mug fell. It tipped upside down. Not only dumped onto the cell phone, the corner of it hit right there. Look at that. It shattered the glass. The coffee cup completely went like, and just like landed, dink, right there. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So I was mad. The reason is this cell phone's brand new. I just got it replaced because I broke it before. Remember, I was bitching and moaning about that. Yes. So I smashed it again. And it even has a cover. It has a brand new case and a brand new cover on it. And the impact was just that it hit right on it. So, and now it keeps like wanting to go to Venmo and Chase Bank. And every time I open it, it freaks out. Brothers Jake, they were great. Hoof Hearted Brewing is their spot now. Yes, it's true. It is true. It was a great show. You were there. You remember how much fun that was. I do remember we drank a lot of mead. I was not feeling it the next day because there was a lot of sugar. I definitely remember there was a really bad hangover because I remember Manchester Orchestra. I was not feeling it that night. Like, oh my God, we must have a lot of beer to combat the hangover that I am still nursing 12 hours later. Sorry, it's true. So yes, so my day was that. So then I broke shit. I found glass things and smashed them against the wall because I just was not happy. Anyway, so that was my day. How was your day? All right. So on to the important stuff. Okay, so hopefully you like the new setup. I added things. I changed things. So I have more lighting. I softened the lighting a little bit so it's not as harsh. I have some diffusers on all the lights now that I custom made. I put some color on the nice big, see, look, it's right here. So look at that light on the Death Star, which I moved a little bit further back. I put some more stuff up here. Look, I found look at my mug. It's my favorite mug. See? That was the sales mug. There you go. Working at the radio station. Fuck you, pay me. Yes. So I have backlight and all sorts of stuff, and I can change colors, and hopefully I've enhanced your experience a little bit more. All right. We'll roll through some stuff that happened on this day. I'll keep it kind of quick since I already took 14 minutes of your valuable time, so I won't make this last too fast. Too long. I'll kind of zing through it a little bit. I'll skip things that seem boring. Okay. 1962, the Paul Winkler Sextet. Jazz, nothing kinky. Is the first jazz concert ever at the White House. They showed up on the request of Jacqueline Kennedy. Now, my question is this. If I was the president, I would be rocking, man. I'd be like having concerts there all the time. I'd invite bands left and right. It'd be like, bro, hey, I won't play your stuff at my presidential debut because you don't want me to, but dude, come to the White House. Rolling Stones, come do a show. I mean, why not do a Stones show on the White House lawn? People can gather out in the street, block the street. You got a fence right there. No brainer. I'd be all about that. That's just me. I will tell you this, that John Kasich, who was a presidential candidate and the governor of Ohio, hold your applause or Snickers. He actually is a rocker. That dude, we've gone to so many shows together. When I was back doing the radio station stuff, Kasich went to everything. He really did. 21 Pilots. We went to go see the Killers. We saw Manchester Orchestra. He really, really liked going to see rock shows. I told him, I said, you should have let some of that out a little bit when the presidential, forums, because people would have thought you were a little less stiff. But he actually really enjoyed going to the shows. He would have his assistant call me all the time and be like, hey, I'm calling for Governor Kasich. Are you going to the Killers concert this weekend? He wanted to know if you want to sit with him. I'm like, yes, why not? It was always hilarious because, I'm sitting with a guy who is a presidential candidate, for God's sakes. So people were like, Governor Kasich, we love you. And it'd be like, boo, you suck. And I'm just like, all right, whatever, man. Just learn to love the haters. But anyway, yes, I would be doing it differently if I was the president. I would have definitely rock bands there, not just an occasional jazz duet or sextet. 76, George Harrison releases his single, This Song, that's the name of it. Album is 33 1/3, which is the speed of an album. And it's a direct and humorous response to the My Sweet Lord copyright lawsuit. I did not dig into it. I didn't care. I wasn't feeling it. 1979, Chuck Berry is released from prison after spending 4 months for income tax evasion. All right. So Todd's not here, but I definitely saw the numbers counting down. So I'm going to touch the camera and it's not going to go black. Ta-da! Look at that. Yes. And I turned the heater off tonight. It's because I had plenty of time tonight. I got home early. I got showered early. I ate dinner early. I made myself some ginger tea that I'm enjoying. And having an all-around great show. Which, by the way, started at 8 o'clock. And there was 5 people watching it. Todd's like, you're broadcasting. I'm like, no, I'm not. He goes, you are. Anyway. 1990, pop duo Milli Vanilli. They had their Grammy stripped from them because they were frauds. And the funny part is that the actual album is Girl, You Know It's True. So what? Girl, you know it's true that we didn't sing any of our own shit? Girl, you know it's true that we're frauds? Girl, you know it's true that Milli Vanilli had no talent and they lost their Grammy because they cheated and deserved exactly what they got. Nada. Milli Vanilli, you bastards. That's what they get. 1995, the Beatles anthology premieres on ABC TV. The 6-hour-long program documentary airs over 3 nights. I guess that's 2 hours a night. 2, 4, 6. I mathed it. Mathed it like a biatch. 2002, Joni Mitchell releases her studio album number 18, a travelogue. And it's a collection of her own songs recorded with an orchestra added. Okay? I did not listen to any Joni Mitchell tonight. Like I said, fell down a Manchester Orchestra rabbit hole and then Young the Giant. That's all I was listening to tonight. 2014, Billy Joel receives the Library of Congress Gershwin Prize. He receives it at the White House in D.C., as opposed to the Jefferson Memorial, where most people have received it. Apparently, they must have liked him a little bit better. Must be those hot wives that he was married to. 2019, The Weeknd released his single, Blinding Lights. It goes on to be the longest charting song on the Billboard 100 at 90 weeks. I did not listen to that song. I don't hate The Weeknd, but I just didn't listen to it because I was not in the mood to it. Because again, what was I listening to? Manchester Orchestra. Like I said, listen to that song. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Jump on the Manchester Orchestra train. Manchester Orchestra, their first sold-out show ever was in Columbus, Ohio, at the Basement. And they came back Every year. Andy Hull loved the radio station. I hung out with Andy a bunch of times, hung out with him in Bonnaroo. And the best part was, Andy said that, they're from Georgia, in Atlanta. They would sell more tickets in Columbus, Ohio, because of the support from the radio station than they did in their hometown. That always would warm my heart when we would hear stories like that from bands that, they got their start here and that they were so supportive here and blah, 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 blah here. So, yeah, Andy Hull, Manchester Orchestra. Nothing but love. Rounder Records released Raise the Roof, the second collab of Alison Krauss. And remember, who was she collabing with? You know it, Robert Plant, Led Zeppelin fame. Oops, knocking shit down. Robert Plant of Led Zeppelin fame. Now, this I just found to be funny. In 1916, Edwin and Albert Selwyn, and Samuel Goldfish. Goldfish, like the little swimmy thing. They established Goldwyn Productions, Metro-Mimir Goldwyn Productions. Goldfish takes to his name change a few after to Goldwyn. I'm sorry, I just found that to be hilarious. Your name is Sam Goldfish? Really? Yeah, I would have changed a long time ago. I had a friend, I'm not going to say his first name. I had a friend, his last name was Butts. For real. Butts. And when he got married, his wife was like, we are not having little butts. We are changing our name legally. He did change his name legally. But yes, his name was Butts. 1959, Rocket J. Squirrel and Bullwinkle J. Moose make their television debut on ABC TV. The Rocky and Bullwinkle Show with Natasha and Boris. I loved Rocky and Bullwinkle. It just was, one of those ridiculous shows. Rocket J. Squirrel. Moose and Squirrel. 1971, Fort Wilderness opens up at Disney World. Have you ever been to Fort Wilderness at Disney World? It's kind of cool. I have a family member that's a Disney kind of, what's the word you call it? Obsessive? They go to every vacation they go to is at Disney. I'm not kidding you. Every vacation is Disney World. Like, they went when they were married. They went when they had kids. They went when their kids were grown up. They just like Disney. So I've been to like every Disney resort, all of it, many times, because that's when they're like, we're going to Disney again. I'm like, all right, I guess they're going to Disney. And what's fucked up, where that kid got eaten by the alligator a few years back, I was literally in that same water, like knee deep, mere weeks before. And joked about like, man, I can't believe there's no alligators here. They must hunt them. Apparently they didn't hunt them. 1975, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with Jack Nicholson and Danny DeVito as Martini premiered. It won Best Picture in 1976. The Academy Award for Best Picture in 1976. Nurse Ratched and The Indian. Remember Chief? If you never saw that movie, watch it. It's a good movie. Definitely highly recommend One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. All right. 1962, the Beatles played a gig at 3 different venues in the same day. They first performed at lunchtime at the Cavern Club in Liverpool, where they were always doing their stuff, followed by an 85-mile drive to the Midlands, where they performed at Smethwick Baths Ballroom, and then at the Adelphia Ballroom, West Bromwich in Staffordshire. There's a lot of information that I could have really done without, but... In 1964, the Supremes became the first all-girl group to have a UK #1 single when Baby Love went to the top of the charts, written by Motown's main production team of Holland and Dozier. It was the second of 5 Supreme songs in a row to go to #1 in the United States. baby love, my baby love. You've heard that song. And if you haven't, well, you should. Oh, I was also digging through my stack of crap I found a rarity David Bowie 45. Because in 1965, David Bowie and the Lower Third appeared at the Marquee Club in London, England. And I have this awesome 45 of David Bowie. And I was like, yes. In 1965, the Kinks, the Who, Georgie Fame and the Blue Fames, the Hollies, Wilson Pickett and the Golden Apples of the Sun all appeared at the Glad Rag Ball Empire in London. Tickets cost $4.20. $4.20. I'd spend $4.20 for that show. I would. It's okay. In 1976, UK Weekly Music Sounds made the Sex Pistols debut 45, Anarchy in the UK, its single of the week. I mean, yes. I mean, anytime that you can bring the Sex Pistols into a conversation along with the Ramones, I'm all about that because it's good. I like that. I was listening to Dead Kennedys also. A little bit of Uber Alles. Jerry Brown. Frank Zappa's one and only rock opera, Joe's Garage, was released. The opera mixes styles of blues and jazz, doo-wop, lounge, orchestra, rock, pop, and reggae. It draws controversy for the profane use of its lyrics, but it was hailed as a cultural milestone. It also looked at Zappa's later crusade against the PMRC. Remember the PMRC? We talked about that. There was that whole Tipper Gore thing. Government censorship. Yeah, that was in 1979. Tipper, mind your own business. Let's see. I'm skipping because I don't want to bore you. Bon Jovi started a 2-week run at number 1 on the U.S. singles chart with his lead single from the band's album, New Jersey, Bad Medicine, which became the group's 3rd U.S. number 1 and only made it to 17 in the UK. They were not Bon Jovi fans in 1988. Just saying. 1988 as well, Robin Beck, not to be confused with the artist Beck, was at number 1 on the UK singles chart with The First Time. The song was from a TV advertisement for Coca-Cola, which session singer Beck had recorded. It made the American a one-hit wonder because it was within the top 40, and it was the only song they ever got in the top 40. There it is. That is what a one-hit wonder is. It does not have to go to number 1 as long as it's in the top 40 one time. That's it. 1992, REM played a Greenpeace benefit show at the 40 Watt Club in Athens, Georgia, for about 500 people. The show was recorded on a solar-powered mobile recording studio. In 1994, we talked about the CSNY lead sing-songwriter David Crosby. Well, that liver transplant he went and got it. And successfully, he survived the operation at Dumont, UCLA in Los Angeles. His liver deteriorated from, what did I say? Excessive alcohol, drug abuse, and apparently hepatitis C as well. Got to stay away from that stuff, kids. Don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. Remember? In 1998, Motley Crue opened a retail store, S. Crew, at 7201 Melrose Avenue in Los Angeles. The store stocked merchandise from the band's worldwide tours, clothing from both the clothing lines by bassist Nikki Sixx and vocalist Vince Neil, and all Motley Crue albums. I did not buy anything from that store, even though I went to Melrose. Just saying. In 2000, the Beatles started an 11-week run at number 1 on the UK album chart with The Beatles 1. The album featured virtually every number 1 single released from the 1962 to 1970 start to finish of the Beatles. Issued on the 30th anniversary of the band's breakup, it was their first compilation available on 1 CD. The world's best-selling album of the 21st century, One had sold over 31 million copies. That's a lot of freaking copies, people. 31 million. Just saying. In 2001, Scotty, Scott Weiland, lead singer from Stone Temple Pilots, was arrested after allegedly fighting with his wife at the Hard Rock Cafe in Las Vegas. Weiland was booked on one count of domestic battery and released 12 hours later. The band had performed at the club that night. Oh, you get the Douche of the Day award, Scott. Come on, dude. What's up with that? You can't be beating on your wife. Not cool, bro. Just not cool. I know you're dead, but still, just not cool. I'm just saying. All right. So here's a double whammy for good old Michael Jackson. In 2002, on this day, the 19th of November, safety experts blasted Michael Jackson after dangling his baby from a third-floor hotel balcony. Remember that? He was like, look, my baby. People were freaking out. Jocko was in Berlin for an awards ceremony and was showing his 9-month-old baby to his fans outside the hotel. Remember, he's like, blanket, here's my baby. It's like dangling the kid over the freaking rail. I mean, you know. And then 1 year later to the day, police issued an arrest warrant for Michael Jackson following allegations of sexual abuse of a 12-year-old boy. Jackson, who was in Las Vegas filming a video, negotiated with police to arrange a time and place for him to hand himself in. Yeah, Michael. Mm-hmm. I don't know, Michael. I'm not sure what I can do with all that. Just seems a lot. We talked about Gary Glitter last night. We talked about Michael tonight. Just seems a lot of that is just a little bit too much. 2006, a guitar played by George Harrison was set to fetch more than $220,000 at a London auction. The Matson MS-500 guitar was used on the Beatles' first album. Now, we talked about this. I brought this up a long time ago. Remember when it was sort of like the cellist, Mike Edwards of ELO, was killed in Plymouth, London, England, when a 2,000-pound bale of hay rolled down the hill, hitting his car and crushing and killing him instantly. Apparently, the two farmers that owned the farm were found not guilty of health and safety offenses after the giant hay bale crushed him. He was killed instantly, so it wasn't like he even knew what happened, but this thing rolled down the hill in a field, went through this hedge, and it smashed into his van near Tonts in Devon in September of 2010. In March of 2011, the inquest jury returned a verdict of accidental death of Mr. Edwards. I mean, I guess if you gotta go, you go by getting hit by a giant bale of hay that you never see coming. I mean, that's definitely one of those things like, didn't see that coming, did you? I mean, just like, wow. Now, it's not just me, because in 2016, a furious letter from John Lennon to Paul McCartney and his wife Linda, written after the Beatles' breakup, sold for nearly $30,000. It's an anonymous collector in Dallas who actually got it. But the 2-page letter, which he shared pictures of, typed draft with a handwritten note from Lennon, he's criticizing the couple of their treatment of him and his wife Yoko Ono. The attack is said to be responsible to, or in a response to Linda's criticism of him not publicly announcing his departure from the band and invoking that it might have been something to do with Yoko Ono. Just saying. This one's bizarre. In 2016, Kanye West abruptly ended a concert before being committed at the recommendation of authorities to the UCLA Medical Center with hallucinations and paranoia. While the episode was first described as a one-off temporary psychosis caused by dehydration and sleep deprivation, West's mental state was abnormal enough for his 21 canceled concerts to be covered by his insurance policy. He was reportedly paranoid and depressed throughout the hospitalization. What the fuck? Don't do drugs, kids. I mean, seriously. I don't know what else they could even, I just don't, I don't know what it could be. You tell me. Anyway, that was enough for me. All right, births and deaths. My deaths are short, so I'll do those first. Kevin DeBro of Quiet Riot. He OD'd at 53. I mean, seriously, if you're 53, you should have already experienced enough of the drug scene that you know what you should and shouldn't take. You should not be overdosing at 53. I'm going to stamp that death by misadventure. Okay? We're going with death by misadventure. And Ralph Riff West of Molly Hatchet died on this day. He died at 64. Not today, but when he died, it was the 19th of November. I just didn't tell you the year because do you really frigging care? He was 64. He played for Molly Hatchet. He's dead. Born on this day, Eddie Rayner of Split Ends. He's 84. Matt Sorum of Guns N' Roses and the Velvet Revolver, which was Scott Weiland's other project, 65. John Chancellor of Tool, 55. Larry King, well, he died in 21, but he would have been 92 today. And Larry King and I share something in common. I share with him that we like hollow bagels. It's a Jersey thing, I guess. So what you would do is when you get a bagel from the store, you say, can you give me a hollow bagel? You pick the insides out. So it becomes like this big, U, a circular U. That way you can put more crap in it. Fill it up with the cream cheese and lox. So yeah, I like a hollow bagel. Get rid of all that bread. I just want the crispy, crunchy outside. It's like bagel toast almost. Larry King would have hollow bagels. Just saying. Ted Turner, born on this day, still alive, 87. I've not heard from Ted Turner for a while. I'm wondering if he's laying low because of whatever. Remember, Ted was quite, Captain Planet, kind of crazy man for a while, Turner Network and all that stuff. Just haven't heard about Ted Turner for a while. Don't know what that means. Dan Haggerty, Grizzly Adams was born on this day. Do you remember Grizzly Adams? He died in 2016, but he would have been 84 today. Peter Aykroyd, Dan Aykroyd's brother, he would have been 70 today. He died in 2021. He was a writer for Saturday Night Live. So his brother and him were on Saturday Night Live at the same time. Him writing and his brother performing. Interesting. Allison Janney. Now, Allison Janney was on The West Wing, but she's also on The Diplomat. One of those shows I binged and now I'm caught up, so I have to wait for the next season. And she plays the president. She's also from Dayton, Ohio. Who knew? She's 66. Meg Ryan, 64 today. Jodie Foster, 63 today. And last but not least, John Oliver is creaming in his pants over this one. Adam Driver, 42 on this day. If you've ever watched John Oliver, he talks about Adam Driver with an obsession, which is a joke, I'm sure, but, it's kind of funny. All right, there you go. Hit likes. Make sure you turn on your notifications so you get notified when I do my show. We'll do another one tomorrow. It'll be 173. And I'll continue to make my changes. So if you see something you like, tell me. If you see something you hate, tell me. I need your comments. Just go ahead and chat a little bit. Let's get some engagement going here. I'm going to move my screen so I can see the engagement a little bit better, but I realize that my computer only has one output and I can't put multiple screens. Why the hell not? That's what I want to know. We need to invent a computer that can have like 8 screens so you can have all your different screens on it. I know. It's stupid. But that's me. What do you want? It's chaos. It's anarchy. It's Randsanity. Anyway, I appreciate for being here. I'm going to go back to listening to Manchester Orchestra. I still want to finish listening to that one song because I didn't finish it. I stopped because, I didn't want to completely bore you and shut you out. So, friends, have a wonderful rest of your evening. Tomorrow is Thursday because the blue garbage cans are out. So I know, in fact, it is recycling day. Got my recycling out there early. Had a lot of it. I had to buy all sorts of things that were in cardboard boxes. And I had to go dumpster diving for cardboard boxes because I need very specific sizes. Kroger's good for that. Just so you know, it's a lot cheaper than going to the U-Haul store. Just dumpster dive. I have no shame. Appreciate you, friends. Thank you very much. And tonight, I think we will fade to red. 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 That's what we're fading to. Red. Wait, did I hit the wrong thing? I didn't hit the right one. Okay, fade to red. There you go. Fade to red. Thank you. Why did I break my damn phone? And why is it going to be expensive?